Okay, so now we have to do some Pythagorean theorem intermediate. Again, I'm going to go through and kind of do it my way. Whenever you have something like this, you're always going to draw the same right triangle. Write an L, connect it, then you have your right angle, which points to your hypotenuse, of course. A ladder will always be leaning, and anything that says foot will always be at the bottom. And they're wondering how far up the wall the ladder reaches. So in this case, you have a hypotenuse and you have a leg. So we're going to do it my method. Hypotenuse squared minus leg squared, square root, and your answer means that the other up the wall, or how far it reaches up the wall, is 6.7 feet. So this would be your answer right there. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. It says, given all the different sides of these triangles, which one could not be a right triangle? Again, the way you're going to check this is you're going to do a squared plus b squared. Then you're going to put c squared, and you're going to see whether or not they match. So let's start with a. My hypotenuse is always the longest. So let's do 8 squared, because that's a leg, plus 6 squared, which is another leg. Then we'll put in the hypotenuse squared, 10 squared. Those two numbers are exactly the same. So yes, this is a right triangle, but we want one that is not. So that's not going to work for what we need. Let's go ahead and try the next one. Okay, so I'm going to put in the longest as my hypotenuse. So let's do the legs first. Leg squared plus 4 squared is 25. And if I go ahead and put in my hypotenuse squared, that also gives me 25, so yes, this is a right triangle, which means it cannot be my answer. So let's go ahead and try the next one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you a different way to do this. I'm going to go ahead and put in the formula. A squared plus b squared. You can just put in the numbers if you want. And then c squared, or you could do it this way and probably make it easier to plug the numbers in. A equals, go to the next line. B equals, go to the next line, and C equals. So for that next one, my longest side C would be 12. My A, oh, excuse me, I got that wrong. My longest side is 15. A could be 12 and B could be 10, or I could switch A and B, it wouldn't matter. Go up here and look, and they are not the same. So that means that they are not a right triangle, and that's what we're looking for. Let's go ahead and try that last one just to see. Let's go for a leg. So that'll be the two shorter sides. There's a 12. And then that'll be a 5. And my C would be 13 because it's the longest. And let's go back up. They both equal, so that is a right triangle. So that's not my answer either. So I know for sure that C is my answer because they do not equal each other. So remember how to try this. This is really, really important, okay? If a squared plus b squared equals c squared, then it's a right triangle. If not, it is not a right triangle. Okay, the size of a television screen is determined by its diagonal. The word diagonal automatically means hypotenuse. Trust me on that. It's going to be that way. So it says, what's the size? So they want this diagonal here. That's what they're looking for. Fortunately, we can look at this and tell that this is a rectangle. So if this is 21, then this is 21. So we have both legs looking for the hypotenuse. So if we have both legs, we're going to square them and add them together. So we've got 21 squared. We're going to add to that 28 squared. We're going to go to the next line, square root answer, and that means our hypotenuse is 35 inches. Okay, so it's a 35-inch TV. So when you have legs, you take leg squared plus leg squared, square root of that answer, and it'll give you the hypotenuse. And like I said, a diagonal is always your hypotenuse. All right, next we're going to advance.